Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where, at a pretty substantial cost, we did manage to get a foothold in South Africa. So that is, of course, fantastic, and we need to look at expanding this foothold. However, now is definitely not the time. Apparently we have free military factories? Okay. How many free military factories do we have? We can see right here, we have one free military factory. We are going to, I guess, toss that into making more jet strategic bombers. Okay, that'll be fine. Now, we're not currently working on any sort of airbase or anything over here. I don't think we even can. Yeah, we can't at this point. But what we can absolutely do is continue to entrench our current position. And that is indeed the plan for the time being. So we're going to work on these land forts here. This next one will be done in just a couple of days here. And our next level of naval base will be done here shortly as well. You can see here our previous one, it did manage to get us to plus 11. We've got a local supply base of 8 apparently here. So that's reasonably solid. There's some super heavy self-propelled anti-air coming in. And I mean, we don't really care about any of these, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and get these done. That's already being researched. So we'll get the medium self-propelled anti-air next. Fantastic. So of course we have no manpower. And that was always going to be a thing. And honestly, I wish there was a way. Well, we can definitely do a low equipment priority for these. But I wish there was a way to completely pause a line and just like restore everything back to its beginning point, redistribute any distributed manpower and resources, but not remove the line. That would be nice, but alas, I don't know of a way to do this. However, we can deploy all of our remaining garrison troops here, and we're going to definitely do that, and we're going to send those guys. Oh, which of these armies were they in? This one? Yeah, we need 7 there, and that's 7. So there we go. There's all of our garrisons filled out, and now the policy is, as we get additional troops from our client states, those troops will go into our garrisons, and our garrison forces will slowly get disbanded over time. That's the overall idea there. We, of course, require another technology here, and all of these are actually researched. So let's check here. I mean, we're going to need medium tank research, but let's go ahead and grab the modern self-propelled gun. Fantastic. And the real question is, of course, how long before we're really ready to strike out here? That is the real question. I mean, we don't really care about any of these right now, right? We want these supplies to go here, and we have already told it that that has high priority. So that is where they will go, in theory. So that is great. We're constructing as quickly as we can over here. We will have another naval base up soon-ish. As in 9 days. That is indeed soon-ish. Now all of these guys are up over here, and what's our supply situation over here? Bad is the answer. The supply situation is bad. So we're going to take these guys with the exception of this army, which is... What army is this? Army 2. And we're going to tell these guys, why don't you just come on over here and just, like, chill here for now. We'll probably need to spread them out over here, but that's fine. We'll also go ahead and delete this naval invasion. We have our beachhead, but we're not ready to bring additional troops into it. So this will be just fine. We'll get them moved over there, and hopefully their attrition won't be hurting us as much as it is now. We'll probably need to spread them out a little bit, but that is okay. Actually, we may not need to, now that I think about it. So that's fantastic. We are just going to wait over here at this point until we have our entrenchment finished up, for sure, and hopefully until we have better supply throughput. Now, it's all going to be very necessary, of course. So we'll see how that ends up going. I just thought of something. And that thing that I thought of is the fact that we could theoretically bump back to extensive conscription here and not be penalized because we are at 0 manpower. The only penalty that we would take is our monthly growth, right? I think. I'm fairly certain that that would be the case. So this would drop us back by 5% to 12% of eligible core population. And that's, I think, reasonable. So, I mean, we're going to try to break out from this location soon enough, but we have supplies here, and we're not too concerned. There we go, there's an additional 3 supplies in this area. Great, that brings us up to 14 supplies. And, of course, we're going to get another 24 out of our naval base constructions here. So, that'll bring us up to, what, 32 out of 44? Yeah, something along those lines. It won't be fantastic, but it'll be better than it could have been. So that will be just fine. And we're going to grab modern AA guns while we wait for medium tank 3s to finish up. Fantastic. So we are slowly working on resupplying this area. And we don't have any air coverage over here. You'll note that this guy, he is told to commence, but to carefully commence. And we're going to leave it on carefully for now. We're not too interested in going just absolutely ham at this exact moment. What we are potentially interested in doing is annexing Brazilian Panama. And let's see here. Our best way to do that would be to go here. Yeah, this would be something that we can do here in just a few days. It will cost us 6 more political power to make that happen, and that is just fine. Excellent. That is wonderful. And the question is, just how likely are we to be able to push this? Well, with our current logistical situation, I think the answer is not tremendously likely, right? We do definitely need a lot more here. That said, our entrenchments do mean that they're very unlikely to be able to push us out. And I think once we finish constructing these land forts, minus 15% for each fort level. There are 10 fort levels. Wait, so are you telling me that that reduces their attack efficiency by 150% when that's maxed out? That seems extreme. We're going to go ahead and annex Brazilian Panama here. And there's our medium self-propelled anti-air. Fantastic. So with that done, that gives us access to these units here. These units are going to hop into this Coast Guard, which of course means that we are over our cap by 5 units. So we're going to... Actually, which of these has the highest amount of manpower? We're actually going to get rid of these, because they have the manpower. Fantastic. So we're going to disband those. That'll get us a good amount of free manpower. And it's gone. Just like that, I'm afraid. It's absolutely going to be gone just like that. We're already done with our land doctrine. We're already done with our naval research. We're done with our naval doctrine. We're not done with our air research. Okay, so we'll get started on that. And we'll also get started over here. Of course, we need medium tank to finish up before we can really do anything else. And look at that, that manpower is already gone. And like I said, that's to a large degree because I would like to be able to pause these without getting rid of them. Unfortunately, that is not really an option. Not really an option at all. How much more manpower are we going to need? I mean, that's like 100k. That's not too bad, I suppose. If we look at this, we're down to 41 used supply. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So we're going to get to 32 out of 41. That's not awful, necessarily. We're definitely waiting until this land fort is finished. We're very patient here. We are not concerned. We're in mountains, and we have a very, very entrenched, defensible position here. So that is completely fine. You can see here that all of our units are now entrenched. The average defensive combat is 37% and 40% here. Wonderful. You combine that with the fact that we've got, at this point, almost 5 levels of land fort. Now we have 5 levels of land fort. So that's 15 times 5. That's pretty extreme. That's a 75% attack penalty. Attacking from multiple directions will reduce fort's effect. So that is good to know. But even so, that's going to be very, very good for us. We would love to get our hands on this airfield down here and on this victory point. That would be amazing. And you can see here we're just kind of pushing out like that. We're trying to do a full-on breakout, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to be super useful. But there's our modern self-propelled anti-air. That, of course, means that we need to switch this over into our air researches. And we'll just grab carrier close air support, too. Fantastic. So they're not interested in attacking us, and we're also not interested in attacking them. We are currently affected by attrition, which we definitely don't like. Of course, there's a reason for that, and that reason is logistics. We could pull some units out of there, but I kind of don't want to at this exact moment. Oh, hello, autosave. That's our yearly autosave there. We also got ourselves our month tick, and actually our recruitable growth has increased. That's great. But we're not quite at what we need for our manpower. We're making progress on some of this, but it's going to be a while. There's no doubt about it. So, I mean, we're producing a good amount of equipment and all of this per day. That's going fine. We're not too concerned about that. Mostly what we're concerned about is building these 2 things here. Of course, keep in mind, in the background, we're also building up our infrastructure, which is reducing our overall malices for insufficient resources. That's another thing to consider here, is we're not just wasting time here, we're building up a lot. And yeah, this is going slow, but once we have land borders over here, we'll be able to fight Portugal pretty easily in theory. And we'll just fight them across 2 fronts here, or really... yeah, this would be 2 fronts that we'd fight them across. We'd fight them here, here, well, really 3 fronts. Here, here, and then this up here. So this would be like 3 armies here, and then we'd have, say, an army here and an army here, and push in like that. Is this also Portuguese? This is also Portuguese. Okay. Well, we don't really have access to that due to Zaire being there. Zaire is non-aligned. We could theoretically conquer them. Do they have resources that we're interested in? They do. They've got some tungsten, but not much of anything else. Okay. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So let's check in over here on this logistics area. Okay, this is fine. We're not having any problems over here. No attrition whatsoever. That's wonderful. We're very happy about that. We're going to get ourselves another level of naval base over here quite soon. And I'm actually going to bump it up to speed 5. We're going to run this at maximum speed just because we don't really have anything to do at this point. Not until these constructions finish up. That'll give us our absolute best chance. Although I am noticing they don't appear to have any tanks in their tank brigade here. And they have very few tanks in their tank brigade here. So that's fascinating. Our supplies have come up to 20 now, so we have roughly half of the supplies that we need coming in here. That's wonderful. We're very happy about that. And it's going to come up by another 18. So it's going to be 38, actually, in total. Right? Yes, it's going to be 38 in total. Because we have that local supply penalty, or rather bonus. Control of incoming edge provinces. Okay. Yeah, that'll be because of this over here. But, yeah, this is great. We're going to get to 38 out of 41. That's going to be incredibly close. And at that point, we'll be ready to strike out here. And we have so many troops waiting in the wings that I don't think South Africa has a chance once we get this beachhead fully established. It's going to be a slow process. Very slow indeed, because we didn't manage to get our hands on any of the extant naval bases, unfortunately. There's Medium Tank 3 finishing up, and that is wonderful. As soon as it appears here, game was slightly frozen, but there we go. As soon as it appears here, we can grab Medium Tank Destroyer 3s. Fantastic. So we will continue here at maximum breakneck speed. And you can see that our level, was this going to be a level 5 naval base? Yeah, our level 5 naval base is going to be finishing up here in just about 11 days. So that is wonderful. And we don't really have anything else we can construct here. But there's our carrier fighter finishing up, and our carrier naval bomber. Eventually, our research slot will pop up. There we go. And let's hop back into the armor and make absolutely sure that everything down here is done. There we go. So let's just make sure that all of these are good to go. I can never actually see whether they're researched or not, probably because of my colorblindness, so I just have to mouse over all of them. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. Fantastic. So everything else is going to go into planes. I mean, really, there's not that much else to research. I think we're maxed out on our air doctrine. I suppose we could grab our improved equipment conversion, but we're not actually interested in doing any conversions right now. So that's a low priority, but then again, so is everything else here. So that is completely fine. We are just about done with our 5th naval base over here, and that is great. You can definitely see our organization is working its way up here. Now, apparently the unit's organization is too low to advance. I'm not sure how true that actually is. Yeah, soft capped at about half. That's about what we expect. So that is great. And we do have a number of infantry divisions that are undergoing pretty hefty recruitment here. We have not put any manpower into any of these armored divisions, and that's not shocking. It's all going into the infantry at this time. And we have pretty good chunks of infantry in a lot of these, but we're losing out on a fair amount of manpower. Or rather, lacking a fair amount of manpower. This is not shocking in the slightest. Okay, so we're going to, I think, start working on researching all of these guys. Wonderful. So that's fantastic. We are up to our 5th naval base over here. So let's check our logistics. Yep, up to 23. And actually, our overall army requirements are going down, and I think that's probably because we were taking attrition, and we still are taking attrition. How short are we on manpower over here? We are short on a little bit of manpower. Okay. And we also require a bunch of modern tanks and such. That's not shocking in the slightest. So we're going to hop over to our air over here, and we're going to work on Naval Bomber 2s. Medium self-propelled anti-air just finished up, and we are medium self-propelled artillery 3. That's great. We're going to work, of course, on... Let's see, what would we want to grab next? Probably... We've already got carrier bomber 1s, so I think we would grab carrier fighter 2s. We accept this Lend-Lease. Fantastic. And we're going to, I guess, work on close air support 3 carrier. Great. That's absolutely wonderful. Our research slots are all good to go. And we are getting very close to another level of naval base in Southwest Africa. Now, they have gotten a lot of units over here, there's no doubt about it, but we have more. And as our supplies get better, and as our fallback point gets better, this should, in theory, improve substantially. And our infrastructure is also improving a lot. That's great. We're now up to 16k monthly growth in states as well. Very good. There we go. There's another 3 supply flowing in here. We're now up to 39 out of 26. So that's a thing. You can see here that the enemy forces are viewed as being stronger at this time. And that's to be expected. Very much so. What is this Lend-Lease? I don't know, the game is kind of There we go. Fighter 2s. Okay, sure, whatever. The game is kind of laggy at speed 5 at times, but that is to be expected, of course. So we will finish up our naval bases over here. That's absolutely necessary. And in theory, they should be having similar supply issues. Because there's only 3 average infrastructure here. So that is definitely something to think about. We are up to 8 land forts here. That's wonderful. And we're up to 6 naval bases. We're capturing a bunch of operatives. Okay. I don't honestly care too much about that. Okay. One of our agents was killed in the line of duty. We'll be able to get another slot for that soon enough. Wonderful. Now, we were, of course, spreading propaganda in the Argentine Republic. We're going to go back to that. And we're going to have this guy. I want him... Boy, is this laggy. I want him to boost ideology, actually. Not spread propaganda. There we go. Boost that ideology there. Oh, we can't actually have this guy in both. Okay, good to know. So we're going to work on our intel network over in Russia then. That'll be fine. And let's see here. Moscow. There we go. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. So we've got a bit of a phony war going on here. That's great. We're very, very pleased with that, actually. This is giving us lots of time to get all this built up. So that is absolutely perfect. We're about to get our 7th level of naval base constructed here. There we go. 7 levels of naval base. So that means we now have 29 supply flow here. It's just going to keep going up for another 9, up to 38. Which means that we'll be roughly the same strength we are right now. By the time that's finished, we do expect these land forts to be done. So that'll be fine. And we'll bump this guy over soon enough to attack normally. That'll be fine. But we're not going to do that at this exact moment. We are a little bit short on our fuel levels, and the question is why. We have 4.8 air consumption here. Let's go ahead and stand down these air wings. They're not doing much for us. They can't reach, after all. So we'll stand those down for now. And I'm hoping that that will reduce our air consumption here. What other air wings do we have active? Well, we've got these guys over here. These are naval wings. We need to be in here. Okay. So what other air wings do we have active? We've got these lads. They don't need to be doing what they're doing. We've got these lads. They really don't need to be doing what they're doing. Yeah, I know we have air wings with no mission or region assigned. Now we're doing fine on fuel. Fantastic. We don't have an airbase over here to work with, so that's not going to be a thing for right now. So that is fine, of course. We did just get an additional chunk of manpower, and it's gone. Just like that. So that is, of course, fine. We're going to have a lot of these finishing up soon-ish. And now you can see that we're missing manpower in a lot of them, but we have full manpower in some of these, and we're just lacking equipment. That should change soon enough, in theory. Carrier Fighter 2's just finished up, and we can recruit an operative. Let's see here. Escape Artist, Tough, Linguist. We'll go with this guy. He has the most number of traits. And we'll just leave him on defending for now. Okay. So we're going to work on researching additional air things here. We're almost done researching, so that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, actually, we have to go into industry and research this if we want to research something. It's the only thing that's available. Fantastic. We only have 2 more levels of naval base to do over here. That's wonderful. 38 out of 32. We are, of course, lacking in manpower, but this is a temporary problem. We actually just launched an attack on Cautious up here. Isn't that fascinating? We're on Cautious right now. And we're launching attacks. I like it. I like it a lot. For now, though, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to finish up these constructions right here, and hopefully we'll be able to start getting aggressive and maybe move additional troops over here eventually. But now is not the time for that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.